Hi everyone, it's Sue from Art Craft and Journals, and today I'm going to do a page in my art journal. Now, I haven't quite decided on my focal image yet, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a face, and I'm going to also use this stencil with mandalas on it, and I'm actually hoping that I can do oh, there goes all my paintbrushes. I'm hoping I can do a sort of a more than one page, like a layered sort of a page effect, but we'll see how I go. So I've chosen some paints to start with. I've got this one, it's Daffodil Yellow, it's a Deco Art paint. I have the Jane Davenport, it's a pink colour. We have the Jane Davenport, the light blue turquoise colour. I have a J. Burrows acrylic paint, it's Tangelo. I also have, if it will still work, the Dilutions Mushy Peas paint. So I'm going to put those on my palette, and hopefully, as I said, they will all look nice together. Quite warm here today, so I want to keep that lid well and truly on. Okay, I'm just going to apply the paint with a brush, and I've chosen a very, it's just a Mott size 4. It's very actually quite fine, but I'm pretty sure it's probably more of a glue brush, but I just thought I wanted that thickness. I just wanted to do it with a thick brush. Okay, starting with the mushy peas, I think. So I'm just applying the paint on the page. Quite thick areas, I think, this time. Well, it's given lines in the paint, but I'm not actually too worried about that because I quite like that, but I am going to swap to a smaller brush now because the areas are getting smaller. I think we'll do the pink. And I will probably speed this up as well, just so it's a little bit quicker. Now you will notice I'm doing quite large areas of each colour. I'm sort of going for a boho coloury sort of look, I think. Okay, I've just dried that off. Now I'm going to look at the other colours. It's interesting when you are using the different brand paints together, you really can tell the different qualities of the paints. But when you're doing backgrounds, you know, really, it's okay to use the cheaper ones, I think. Especially if you're only really messing around in your journal or something. Not sure if I like that bit, but we'll break it up with something. Okay, what I might do is dry that off, and then we can use the stencils. Okay, I've grabbed some stencils and I've grabbed some little sponges to do some stenciling. This particular stencil is one from a reject shop, and they come in, I think, 6 of them, and you can cut them apart. This one is a little birdie stencil, and I'm pretty sure this one is a little birdie stencil as well. This one is, I'm not sure where that one's come from, and strangely enough I thought I actually had another one, which I must have dropped. I will be back. Okay, this one is a TCW Crafters Workshop stencil with all the rounds or circles. You may have noticed there's a theme. As I said, I am going to use the larger stencil as well. So I kind of wanted to keep it all in that circular sort of feel. So I will speed this up. I'm just going to use the paints with the stencils to give the background more interest. Okay, I've dried that. I'm reasonably happy with it. I think there's a few blank spaces, but I can fill that up with some stamping anyway. What I'm going to do, I think first, is I'm going to do the stamping, then I'm going to use some texture paste and the mandala stencil, and that's going to go there. Okay, what I've done is I've gone through and collected a variety of small circular stamps. It's a bit hard to see them, but basically I'm going to use those with my Stays On Black, and I have these little Memento Dewdrop Dandelion, Pear Tart, Rosebud, and I do have Bahama Blue. So I'm going to use those as well on the background. For the focal point, I decided I'd use one of these faces from Dina Wakely media. I'm not I think I'll go with this one. Yeah, I think I'll go with this one. So I'm using my Stays On ink, and this is just cardstock. Right, take that off there. These are really great if you can't draw faces, I must say. I'm sort of learning to draw faces, but it's a slow process. Okay. Now, should have probably used a stamp block, but anyway, we'll see how we go. Okay. Crossing fingers. Can always fill in the gaps. Yep, that's fine. Can always fill in the gaps. Alright. Now I'm going to paint the face with this apricot Dina Wakely paint. This was actually part of the Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft box that I received. So if you haven't seen that unboxing, see what some of the products that she sells. There's some lovely papers this month, or the month of January, because I'm not sure if this video will go up in January. Alright, now I'm going to let that dry and come back with some inks. Okay, what I'm attempting to do is I'm using this, it's a multi-surface chalk Versamark, it's Sahara Sand, this one, and I'm going to use it to shade around the hairline. So I'm just taking it and putting it on a little bit of plastic and very lightly just shading around that hairline. Don't want to do it too dark. And I'm just sort of putting it against the line and then pulling it to the front. Of course, there are other ways of doing this. There's could use your Inktense pencils or watercolor pencils. There's lots of different ways of shading. You could use acrylic paint. Lots of different ways. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, just show you what that looks like so far. The colouring probably isn't the greatest on the camera. She's not quite as yellowy looking as that. What I might do, I think I might do the hair. Might go and get some brown paint and do her hair, and then we'll do some highlights and shading with the inks. Alright, I do have the Dylusions Melted Chocolate, and I thought I'd grab that because I don't often use this one either, and they do have a tendency to dry out, so I thought maybe I should use this one. Besides, who wouldn't love to have chocolate hair? Oh, it's a worry. And I'm going to do a bit of flicking up there. Alright, so I've finished colouring her in, and I have cut her out. I'm just going to distress the edges so that you can't see those sort of that white that's on the edge there. So you'll see the difference. It does help when you're trying to put it onto a page. Okay, I am really happy with how she turned out actually. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm quite happy with how she turned out. Alright. And here is the page, and I'm thinking she's going to go there. There is a reason why she's not going there, and you will find that out later. Probably not in this video, because I am actually going to add to this. So, ooh, actually, yeah, I think she can sit there. Alright, so I'm going to sit her there, and I will glue her down. Where is, I'll use, I think, my art glitter glue. If it's going to work, incorporate. Yes, it is. Excellent. It does dry very quickly, so can't mess around too much. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is around the edges, I'm going to use some black ink. So, see if I can find some of the black soot or something. Okay, can't find black soot, so I'm going to use the watercolour pencil and just sort of shade along, and then just sort of move it a little bit. thinks it would have been better, but I'm not sure where it's gone to. I'm actually thinking, I think I like it just left scribbled. Might just leave it like that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that for the moment, and I may come back with a second video and show what I'm going to do there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something or got inspired or at least enjoyed. And I will see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, I decided that I wouldn't make a separate video, that I'll just come back and show you what I've done. So what I've done is I've used this particular doily stamp here and some StazOn ink, and I've cut some acetate to fit over the page. Which is here, and I've actually stamped onto the page. I've stamped the doily in the middle, and I've used some letter stamps, and I'll just put that under there so you can actually see it. Put some letter stamps to say be happy, and a little butterfly stamp there. And basically I stamped straight onto the acetate, which was not easy, a bit messy. But the image isn't too bad. It's not as clear as I would have liked, but it's not too bad. These little bits here, I believe you could probably clean up with a cotton bud, or I think you might call them a Q-tip in America, and some isopropyl alcohol. I think that will clean that off. But basically what it does is it puts an overlay onto the page, like so. So of course it flips over to this side as well, which doesn't look as good obviously, but it just adds a different layer to it, an extra little bit of interest. So that was that page there. That was my I guess more like a boho sort of a page, but I was really happy with that. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found some inspiration or got some new ideas from that page. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.